Hello sports fans, it is Thursday, March the 28th, the year 2013, and as usual, a lot to get to in the sports world, so let's get it going right now. The NCAA tournament resumes tonight. We'll get to our Sweet 16 in a second, but let's go through some scores of note from last night. Let's start in the NBA, where the Miami Heat's winning streak finally ended. It had to happen, folks. I mean, Miami had not lost a game since February 1st. Think about that. Almost 2 months of basketball where every team is taking their best shot at them, and Miami did not lose for 2 months. All those back-to-back games in the NBA. All the times Miami was down in the fourth quarter. I think they were down 11 times during the streak and came back to win. Well, it all came to an end last night in Chicago with the shorthanded Bulls, still without Rose. Noah didn't play last night. The shorthanded Bulls beat the Heat last night and end the Heat's just tremendous winning streak. What a winning streak it was by the Heat. I enjoyed every second of it, the way they competed, the way they battled, the way they grinded out this streak. But the Bulls got the job done last night. Bulls needed this win. The Bulls were really playing bad basketball recently, have been sputtering. Rose is still not back. Noah's hurt. Bulls really needed a signature win. They got it last night, so Miami's winning streak ends last night. What a great winning streak it was. They should be applauded for it. Also last night in your NBA, the Knicks in the Garden just ran over Memphis. It got a little close late, but New York had such a big lead, it didn't matter. Watch out for Memphis. Marc Gasol is out the rest of the regular season with this injury. I mean, he's going to be back for the playoffs, but Memphis is going to dip in the standings. They're probably going to have no home court in the playoffs. That injury to Marc Gasol is huge. They are going to drop in the Western Conference standings. Knicks handled Memphis last night. Knicks are playing a little better recently. Also last night, Indiana beat Houston in Houston. San Antonio at home hung on and beat Denver by 1 point. Denver a chance to win with no time left. Tony Parker blocks the shot, and San Antonio escapes. Really nice game. Two good teams slugging it out last night. San Antonio gets the win. Also last night in the NBA, the Lakers and Utah, they win. Utah beats Phoenix. The Lakers beat Minnesota. Ho-hum. So nothing changed there in the battle for the 8th spot in the West. So that was some of your scores. Oh, also last night, late night, Brooklyn blew out Portland. Portland had an outside chance at the 8th spot. I mean, I have no faith in Portland. Brooklyn just blew them out. Brooklyn is on a road trip right now. So far, they're 4-1. Brooklyn's playing a lot better. Portland, what an awful, awful loss. I mean, they got bombarded by Brooklyn. That game was over in like the first quarter. Portland is at home. I mean, I could see on the road if you take a beating like that, but at home when you still have an outside chance for the playoffs, I mean, my goodness, they look so bad, Portland. That game was over by the first quarter. I mean, Brooklyn just blew them out. And that was without Joe Johnson as well, so horrible loss for Portland. You can kick dirt on them. They're not making the playoffs. All right, so that was kind of where you were in your NBA last night. NIT last night, I watched a little bit of Iowa. They beat Virginia at Virginia, so that was a nice win for Iowa in the NIT. Over to the NHL we go. What a great game in Boston last night. I hope you caught this game. Montreal went into Boston and beat the Bruins 6-5 in a shootout in a wild game. These two teams can't stand each other. They're rivals from way back in the day. There was some fights early in this game. Very competitive game. Very strange game. Montreal's up 2-0. Boston comes flying back to take a 4-2 lead. Montreal makes it 4-3. Then it's 5-3 Boston. Montreal comes flying back, ties the game with basically no time left in regulation, and Montreal wins it in a shootout of an improbable win for the Canadiens. I thought the Bruins had this game in the bag. What a nice win by Montreal, and also consider they were on a back-to-back. The night before, they had just played in Pittsburgh, lost a heartbreaker to Pittsburgh 1-0. They come back and they steal one in Boston. Boston has not been playing great lately. I still like Boston. I think they're one of the top teams. These haven't been playing great. Let this game slip away. Also last night, San Jose beat Anaheim. Anaheim is all of a sudden in a slump. And Minnesota beat Phoenix. Minnesota is a team to keep an eye on. One trade in the NHL last night. The Penguins get Iginla from Calgary. How about Pittsburgh? Wheeling and dealing. They add Iginla to this team. What a great move. It's funny. When I was watching the Montreal-Boston game, everyone was saying that Iginla was going to Boston like it was a foregone conclusion. Like Boston was definitely going to get him. Every announcer said it. All the guys in the studio said it. and you wake up this morning and Iginla is a Pittsburgh Penguin. What happened to Boston definitely getting these guys? I was a little uncertain that Iginla was definitely going to Boston because there was a few teams in the mix. They had mentioned the Rangers, the Blackhawks, you know, all the big teams. And Boston did not want to give away their top prospect. So, I mean, if you don't want to give away your top prospect, I mean, it's not a foregone conclusion. He's going to the Bruins, and he ends up going to the Penguins. So everyone last night got that wrong. All the hockey experts got that wrong. Iginla added to the Penguins. The Penguins are going for it right now. What a tremendous pickup last night. A few news and notes from last night also. The Falcons in the NFL signed Umenyiora from the Giants. Umenyiora is a good player. Now, he's flaky. Don't get me wrong. He's flaky. But when he brings his game, he's really, really good. So that's a nice pickup by the Falcons. And also, I was telling you that UCLA and Minnesota in college basketball had fired their coach, and they wanted Shaka Smart from Virginia Commonwealth. I said that was pretty dangerous, especially from Minnesota's point of view. Shaka Smart has said all along he doesn't want to leave the Virginia Commonwealth, and he said it again last night. He's staying at Virginia Commonwealth. Now, I think UCLA is going to get a good coach. UCLA has got a historic program. They're going to find a coach. Minnesota, I question them because they fired Tubby Smith. What are Minnesota's expectations? How good do they think they could be? What type of coach do they think they can get? Minnesota has a lot of competition in the Big Ten. Minnesota is not a gigantic basketball program. Their facilities aren't that great. I mean, Tubby Smith did a pretty decent job with them, I thought. Got them to the tournament a few years. They won 21 games this year. They actually won a first-round tournament game. What more could you ask from Tubby Smith? I was surprised Minnesota fired him. I was surprised when I heard they were going after Shaka Smart because I figured he'd stay at Virginia Commonwealth. He is staying there. So what is Minnesota doing now? I found this whole situation with Minnesota very, very peculiar. Also, Doug Collins, who coaches the Sixers, his son who played at Duke, who was on the staff under Coach K at Duke all these years, he took the job at Northwestern yesterday. That is a very tough place to win. Northwestern is a bottom feeder in the Big Ten. I mean, Minnesota is like a mediocre team in the Big Ten. Northwestern is a bottom feeder. That is a rough job for the young Collins. We wish him all the luck in the world because he's going to need it there. Rough first job for Collins taking over Northwestern. So that was kind of some of your news and notes from yesterday. You had a little something going on yesterday. As far as tonight, what to watch, we're going to go through tonight what to watch, and I'm going to give you some movies today. I was going to wait till the movies until tomorrow, but I have some time today, so I'll go through some movies today with you. Tomorrow we'll recap everything that went on as far as your Sweet 16. I may throw in a little baseball preview as well tomorrow, as well as a little preview of what's coming up over the weekend. All right, so as far as what to watch tonight, we have our Sweet 16. College basketball is back tonight. You have the Sweet 16. Here are the 4 games tonight. Let's talk about them real quick. You have Marquette and Miami. It's hard to believe to me Marquette is still here. They were on the ropes 2 games. They escaped 2 games. I like Miami in this game. The one thing I don't like about Miami going forward, their big man needs surgery. He's going to miss the next 2 games. Now, they say he's going to be back for the Final Four, but that's if they get to the Final Four. Now, I think they have enough to beat Marquette, but in the next round, I believe they have to play either Indiana or Syracuse. And without their big man, that's not a good sign. I didn't like that injury for Miami. That's a tough break, losing him for a couple games. I think they have enough to get through tonight. Next game will be very difficult. Also tonight in Los Angeles, Arizona and Ohio State. Very nice game. Ohio State's on fire. They win the last game with the big 3-pointer at the end of the game. Arizona's been kind of forgotten about, even by me. Arizona was a top-ranked team at the beginning of the year. Didn't play great the whole season, but here they are still standing in the Sweet 16. This should be an interesting game because this game is in Los Angeles. Should be a West Coast Arizona house, I think, tonight. Very interesting game. I favor Ohio State. I give Arizona a chance. Here's a nice game. Syracuse, Indiana. I mean, Battle of the Titans. I mean, what a great game. 2 historic programs. I'm picking the upset here. There is something about Indiana I don't love. I mean, I think they're a good team. Indiana fans, don't get on me. You're a good team. You can get to the Final Four. You can definitely win it. There is some little missing ingredient for Indiana that I just don't like. They were in a life and death game with Temple. They barely beat Temple last week. Syracuse has been playing better recently. I think their zone is going to give Indiana fits. I think Syracuse upsets Indiana tonight. Also tonight, look at this matchup. LaSalle and Wichita State. Now, who has in their bracket in the Sweet 16 LaSalle and Wichita State? Now, come on. If you have these two in your bracket, come on, you're lying to us, right? Or you picked 4,000 brackets. No one has LaSalle, Wichita State. Very interesting game. The way Wichita State's playing, I like the Shockers. I like Wichita State. I love the way they're playing. I think Wichita State wins tonight. So tonight, I like Miami, even though their big man is out, although in the next round, I don't love him so much. If he doesn't play the big man, which I don't think he will, he's supposed to miss 2 games. Ohio State slight edge tonight against Arizona, but I give Arizona a chance. I'm picking Syracuse in the upset to beat Indiana tonight, and I like Wichita State to beat LaSalle. Do you believe the winner of Wichita State-LaSalle is going to be in the final 8? I mean, LaSalle was a playing team. Unbelievable. Good to have basketball back tonight as well. Also in your NBA tonight, you got a little something in the NBA. Lakers at Milwaukee. It's an important game for the Lakers. And Indiana at Dallas. Very important game if you're interested in who makes the 8th seed in the Western Conference. As far as your NHL tonight, Carolina, Toronto, Islanders, Philly. Islanders are right there for the playoffs. Winnipeg, Pittsburgh. We'll see if Pittsburgh can continue their winning ways. Rangers at Ottawa. Very nice game. LA at St. Louis and Detroit at San Jose. So you have some stuff in your NHL, but this is an NCAA tournament Sweet 16 night. Make no mistake about it. All right, I have a little time today. I was going to wait till tomorrow. Let's go to some movies real quick because I did watch a bunch of movies last week. Let's get to them right now in the order I watched them. I watched Chasing Mavericks. That was a true story about a surfer and his mentor. The mentor was Gerard Butler. He's helping this kid learn how to surf. It was based on a true story. I give it 2 stars. At a 0 to 4, I would give it 2 stars. I would say it was okay, mediocre. Needed something else. I mean, I know it's a true story, so I don't want to get on it too much. Mediocre. I call it 2. Not horrible, not great. I wouldn't even call it very good. Mediocre, right in the middle. 2 out of 4 stars. Is a true story. You might want to check that out. I also watched House at the End of the Street. That's with Jennifer Lawrence, who just won the Oscar. This is a horror-type movie. You know, a family moves into a house, and next door, all sorts of mayhem was going on years ago. And coincidentally, the mayhem starts as soon as Jennifer Lawrence gets in the house. And we have a lot of, that horror stuff and all that kind of stuff going on. I actually thought it was pretty good. For a horror movie, I would give it 2.5. At a 0 to 4, I would give it 2.5. I thought it was pretty decent. I mean, it kept me interested. Jennifer Lawrence is good in everything. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence is a good actress. Like her or not, she can act. So I would give House at the End of the Street 2.5. Now, I did watch 3 big movies over the weekend. Oh, actually 2. I had seen Argo already. I gave Argo 3 stars out of 4. I saw Zero Dark 30. That was The Hunt for Bin Laden. I liked Zero Dark 30. I thought it was a 3-star movie. I thought it was a solid, good movie. The ending is really, really good. Chastain is really good in the movie. I thought it was very well done. I liked it. I found it very interesting. 0 to 4 stars, I would give it 3. I had also given Argo 3, so I gave those 2 the same rating. I also saw Life of Pi. That it was directed by Ang Lee. Very, very interesting movie. Very visually spectacular as well. I liked Life of Pi as well. I gave it 3 out of 4 stars as well. So here was my dilemma. I gave Life of Pi 3 stars. I gave Zero Dark 30 3 stars. I gave Argo 3 stars. So if I was on the committee, for the Oscars, I had to pick out of those 3 movies. And granted, I haven't seen a few that were up for the Oscars. I'll get to them sooner or later. But out of those 3 movies, I gave them the same rating. Which one did I like better? So I ranked them. I would say number 3, I liked Argo. I liked the beginning of Argo. I liked the end of Argo. The middle of Argo was a little slow. That's why I put that one 3rd. Then it came down to Life of Pi or Zero Dark 30. I put Zero Dark 30 2nd. It's a true story. It's a tremendous story. I liked it. I gave it 3 stars. But I gave, out of those 3 movies, Life of Pi the number 1 slot. First of all, the ending is to die for. Anytime an ending makes you think the way this movie does, it is a great ending. And an ending to me means everything. This ending was spectacular. I love the way they ended it. Really makes you think. Please watch the ending and pay attention. Very important you pay attention to the end of this movie. I thought it was well acted. I thought Ang Lee did a great job with the directing. I like this movie, and I went in with low expectations. I said, this ain't going to be any good. And sure enough, when you have low expectations, the movie seems better to you. When you have high expectations sometimes you're let down. So Life of Pi, Zero Dark 30, and Argo, all good movies. I liked all of them. I gave all of them 3 out of 4 stars. House at the End of the Street, not bad, 2.5. Chasing Mavericks, 2, okay. But not bad, especially for me, because I had seen some bombs the last month before this. So this was a step up for me. Also out on DVD this week, Les Miserables, that's out on DVD, and also Lincoln out on DVD. Those 2 pictures were up for Best Picture of the Year as well, so definitely check those 2 out as well on DVD. They just came out. So there you go, you got some movies for you, and those movies I mentioned, there's some good ones in there. They will keep you entertained. I wouldn't steer you wrong, believe me. I know a bomb movie. These were not bombs. I had seen nothing but bombs a month in a row. Life of Pi, Zero Dark 30, Argo, all good movies. House at the End of the Street you can watch. Chasing Mavericks, okay. And remember, Lincoln and Les Mis, definitely check those out as well. Alright, so that's where we are for today. Tomorrow, like I said, we will recap what went on in the Sweet 16. Tonight should be a wild night in the Sweet 16. It always is. And I will try and do a little baseball preview for you tomorrow. We'll also preview what's coming up over the weekend. Hard to believe baseball starts Sunday. Now, there's only one game on Sunday night, but hard to believe baseball season is in full swing come Monday. Basically, everyone plays on Monday. Hard to believe we're heading into April. More holidays are coming up. It seems like there's always a holiday coming up. You turn around and there's another holiday. It's always something all the time. All right, there you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys enjoy the games tonight, especially the Sweet 16. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, Friday. Take care.